Okay, so we're here today at the lovely Spectrum with David. And to start off, what in the famous networking terms, give us your 30-second commercial.
I will do that. Thank you, Sven. Well, my name is David Brodeur. I've been a human resources professional for probably over 25 years now. Worked in about 7 different industries, from retail to multi-unit, which is one of my specialties, to banking and healthcare, storage, proprietary education. Recently been doing some consulting assignments, a lot of outplacement work. Looking for a full-time position within HR as a director or vice president within a small company, or manager within a larger company, or even as an individual contributor. My expertise is in employee relations. I'm kind of known as the Bob Newhart of human resources, which later on in the interview I'll tell you what that's all about. For those of you who are under 30, you may not know who Bob Newhart is, but we'll educate you on that one. Looking within the Orange County area, Los Angeles County, because I'm a fan of the Metrolink, so I will go into downtown Los Angeles, and also the Inland Empire, so keeping my options open and remaining flexible with my search. So, David Brodeur, Human Resources Professional.
Okay, so the next question I had was, 2009 has been an interesting year. What changes have you made, different things you've done?
Well, the obvious has been, obviously it's not a change, but I've gone to more HR networking meetings. But what I've done, and what I tell myself, and actually some candidates I've worked with, the term I've used is you got to go play in other people's sandboxes. And what I mean by that is you need to go to groups that aren't normally within your, I guess, sweet spot or your specialty. A couple of that have been very helpful has been the Ocean Group, the We Are Orange County Group, Irvine Newport Networkers, and the Irvine Tustin Networkers, which I'm on the leadership team for that. So you go to groups that have a little bit more of a cross-section versus people that are just in your industry. And that's one of the changes I've made, and since I've done that probably in the last 90 days, I've been getting more traction on my search.
I think that's a really good thing to do.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Okay, so the next question I had is, do you have any tips or resources you might be able to share with people watching this video?
I think one of the first things I would recommend, and I've said this to candidates I've worked with, is either find your library card or dust off your library card. One, it gives you a place to go. 2, there's some great resources, and in most cases it's going to be free or very minimal expense. I think a lot of people don't know that the library, your local library, has a lot of good information. I would also check out what I call the retail libraries. Go to Barnes & Nobles, go to Borders, their career sections. You know, whether you like Seattle's Best or whether you like Starbucks, depending upon which one, you can get some good tools there. I would also get a copy of and reread, if you haven't read it, What Color's Your Parachute by Richard Bowles. Excellent book. It's the basis of many of the outplacement programs out there. And I think going back to some of the tried and true tools that are out there are definitely going to be helpful. And some other books by Peter Weddle would be very, very good. One in particular called Work Strong. I am going to be reading very shortly, and I've heard some very good things about that, and I've heard him speak and have met him. And it's a very, very good program. So it's one I hadn't heard of before, so I recommend those.
Thank you. Okay, the next question is always very importantly on networking, because you want to be remembered, very importantly. So yes. Something memorable about yourself.
One of the things I always like to tell people, and they get the biggest kick out of, is I worked at Disneyland when I was going to college. I also met my wife there at Disneyland. We've been happily married for 33 years.
Wow.
And the other thing that a lot of people don't know is I'm a musician, and I was a very good trombone player. In fact, I'm dusting that off as we speak. It is sitting on the stand in my office at home, and my clarinet playing friend, who I used to work with, is encouraging me to start practicing to get involved in a community band. So I'm a musician, and I've also my Disneyland work, which I still go there, and I still know where all the restrooms are.
Do you have your anniversary at Disneyland?
No, we didn't actually, but we have annual passes and we go on a regular basis. So we hold hands as we walk through the park, like we weren't supposed to when we were employees working there.
Very good, thank you. Okay, the next question, and this is I think a lot of people forget how important it is your personal brand.
Right.
Do you have one, and how do you discover it?
Well, the thing about branding, it's interesting. I think if you spend think we spend sometimes almost too much time thinking about it. And the reason why I say that is that one of the brands that's developed for me, and it just sort of evolved, and the story goes like this very quickly, is I was at an event filling out my standard, "Hi, my name is" tag that sticks on your jacket that never stays on, of course. And I put down, I went, "David, the HR guy," and I put it in quotes. It just came to me. And so I started to go, "Oh, you're the HR guy," you know. And I've been doing that now, going to meetings, and people come up to me, "Hey, HR guy, hey, HR guy." And it just sort of evolved. So my advice is just sort of kind of just relax about it and think about it. And the other thing is I came up with this on Target. I was doing cards online with a particular company. They had a little symbol for a target, and the name of my HR organization is On Target Human Resources, HR services that hit the mark. And I had, in a networking group, I had one gentleman, who a lot of people know, and Gary said to me, he says, "You're the guy with the target on your card." So there are two things that just sort of blipped that I've had feedback on, and it's sticking, and that's what I'm going to go with.
Perfect. Sounds great. Okay, second last question is going to be how might other people be able to help you? A lot of people don't ask for help, but that's what they should do. Ask for help.
Well, the best way to help me is any referrals into an organization that I may be targeting. I'm getting better at letting people know which companies I'm targeting. So referrals within those companies, or from a consulting standpoint, while I'm looking for a full-time position, if someone should say, "Hey, you know, my HR person just left," or "I'm looking for someone to help me with my handbook or my compliance issues," I could be their HR manager for a day, come in and do some work, or do one-off kind of work. So any kind of project work that a company might need on an interim or contract basis, or any referrals within small to medium-sized firms where you think they may need somebody like the HR guy to come in and help them with their department.
Okay, to finish off, the last question is, what social media tools are you taking advantage of, and what's the best way for people to connect with you?
I think the best way is I'm definitely on LinkedIn. I am utilizing that almost daily. I'm checking my messages on LinkedIn, and I'm very, very responsive. So I think the best way to reach me will be through LinkedIn. Another way that I've been beginning to connect primarily with a lot of HR professionals has been through Facebook. So I am on Facebook, not as regularly as LinkedIn, but I am utilizing it for professional networking as well. In fact, there are some tools where you can actually RSVP for a particular meeting, and it asks you if you want to put it on your Facebook page or wall or whatever. So I would say LinkedIn is going to be the best way to get in touch with me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you, Sven. Appreciate it.